The medical and healthcare industries in our secular world typically embrace the pro-abortion narrative, but one organization is committing itself to the pro-life movement. Prescidio Healthcare is the self-proclaimed first pro-life health insurance company. The organization is still in the fundraising stage and hoping to launch soon with the help of investors. I spoke with Daniel Cruz, one of the founders of Prescidio, about this new venture. Daniel, thank you for joining us. First, can you tell us why you want to launch this pro-life health insurance company?
Abby, thanks so much for having me on the show. Yes, our company is called Prescidio Healthcare, and we're the nation's first pro-life Christian health insurance company. And we really built this for Christian American families who they want great health insurance that's affordable, that's pro-life, and importantly, that is financially secure. So nobody wants, their hard-earned money to go towards services that violate their deepest held religious beliefs about the human person. And sadly, most health insurance, if you have traditional insurance, it's going to cover things like abortion, abortifacients, contraceptions, sterilizations, all sort of services that violate the Catholic faith. So primarily, we want to make sure that as a Catholic entity, our customers know 100% of your dollars are not going to go towards these services that violate your faith. Secondarily, the only option that people currently have is these things called Christian health sharing ministry plans. Mm-hmm. And while we love that exists as an unregulated backstop in this industry, millions and millions of American Christian families simply find them to be financially risky because they're not legally health insurance. They don't have legal obligation to pay your medical bills. And I can say as myself, as a father of 4, we got our 5th baby on the way. The last thing that I want is if you have a premature baby or a NICU baby, things happen where you have medical bills of $100,000, $500,000, $1 million. The last thing you want is that fear or that unknown of, hey, is this medical bill going to be paid? So we made sure that we are a health insurance, not a health sharing plan, so that we can, alleviate some of that financial risk for American families out there.
And President Trump is seeking to expand in vitro fertilization access. As Catholics, we know the church is opposed to IVF. How does Presidio work with couples struggling with infertility to access care that is aligned with the Catholic faith?
Yeah, it's really unfortunate that the administration has kind of gone down this path. I think it underscores the need for organizations like Prescidio, faith-based health insurance options that can really secure the full power of a religious exemption to what might be future mandates on IVF. But you know what? It's a great time to be a Catholic in healthcare because there's been a reawakening and a reevaluation of our healthcare system away from one where it's really sick care. You're not treating the underlying condition of the human person. You're just having a medicated or technological Band-Aid. And no greater example of this than the in vitro fertilization industry where, if you have infertility struggles, you go to an OBGYN, most of them are not trained to actually deal with the actual underlying condition that's causing the infertility. And what they'll do is they'll send you to clinics that are really a conveyor belt to a very expensive IVF option that not only breaks the unity of the marital bond between man and woman, but unfortunately also disposes of human embryos and ends life.
Now, does Presidio do any work to help mothers choose life?
Absolutely. That is one of our missions. Is we want to help. We want to be the opposite of the health insurance industry that's trying to essentially limit the amount of babies. We want more women, more couples to really embrace and be open to life. And sadly, John Paul II was very, very clear that, contraception and abortion are really fruits of the same tree. Mm-hmm. And so what we want to do is get further upstream from the decision of abortion and really start to help young women, young couples have access to, again, these natural fertility awareness methods. Mm-hmm. So what we want to do is we want to help these women get low-cost access to these tools, like things like the Mirror app, things that really help in tracking. But then on top of that, low-cost access to these physicians so that when these couples are kind of downstream from some of these, unfortunate decisions down the road, they can really start to embrace a culture of life early in their relationship and, reject the lie of culture that says drop your cross, avoid the what is a sacrifice to have children, but instead preach the gospel in these moments and say, yes, it is hard. It is a sacrifice. I'm a father. I've seen my wife go through multiple pregnancies, but you know what? The path to the resurrection is the cross. And so sometimes you just need a little bit of a guidance, whether it's a physician or a friend. And for our little part in this, we can at least provide that guidance from trusted physicians that can help, young couples, young women really seek these alternatives that remain and keep them open to life.
Well, Daniel, thank you so much for the work that you and Prescidio are doing, and count on our prayers.
Thank you so much, Abby.
Daniel Cruz says Prescidio will have a tool to help customers connect with pro-life and Catholic providers. You can learn more about Prescidio Healthcare by visiting their website, presidiocare.com.